What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to a much needed update on Hoppy. If you enjoy this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Help me pump that algorithm. I'd greatly appreciate it. None of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
All right, so as usual, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to continue saying the exact same thing I've been saying for weeks. I still believe we are in this cup and handle. This is the cup and this is the handle. And the number one thing that I've been telling you guys is that we need to see price action get back above the 21 day. Now, we just had a short squeeze that took us above this level, but we had a hard rejection. And right now we're back down to 96,900. But I'm going to continue saying that we need to get back above the 21 day. If we do not, then expect more downside. That being said, this is the daily time frame. I'm also going to continue showing you guys Ethereum's weekly. So the reason that I think the weekly is so interesting right now is because of the stochastics. So you can see that we are officially extremely oversold again. We haven't been oversold on the stochastic since September of 2024. And what happened in September of 2024? We had a massive explosion. And if you go back through the history of Ethereum, you can see that we explode pretty much every single time with oversold stochastics. And most of the time we pump over 50%. A lot of the time it's like 100%, 200%, 300%. And we have broken out 9 out of 9 times since September of 2020. When I see statistics like that, it makes me very bullish. But do understand, usually it does take several weeks for it to actually play out. So I'm not just telling you that Ethereum is going to break out tomorrow or next week. It usually does take a little bit of time. Don't be shocked if we don't get a breakout until mid-March or even April. But the statistics do lean towards a breakout eventually. Now, when you look at the meme coin market, you can see that a lot of meme coins are still just waiting on Bitcoin and Ethereum to actually make a move. You can see Pepe, for example, is down 2% in the last week, but it's up 1.4% in the last 24 hours. But in general, Pepe is still getting hammered. It's under a $4 billion market cap. But what I still want to point out to you guys is the volume. So you can see right now, Pepe's volume is 485 million. The reason this is important is because a lot of people are saying that meme coins are starting to die. I just want to point out that I completely disagree with that. And the reason is because when you compare Pepe's volume to a lot of other utility projects. Okay, so Pepe is currently the 29th largest crypto. Again, 485 million volume. Just look at the volume of all of these projects above Pepe. You don't have a project with higher volume until Litecoin. And that's because Litecoin recently got a lot of hype, but Pepe is usually even higher than Litecoin. And then you run into Sui, and Sui is a layer 1. But then Pepe is still higher than all these other projects until Cardano. So right now, there are only 3 projects with higher volume than Pepe until you reach Dogecoin. That right there shows you that there's still a lot of interest in the meme coin market. If there wasn't, then it wouldn't have good volume. That's why I'm personally not worried about meme coins at all. Now, when we look at Hoppy, you can see that Hoppy has been getting hammered. It's down to a $14.3 million market cap. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. From a technical analysis standpoint, we do not look great. This $13 to $14 million range must hold. It's kind of getting to the point where it's do or die. Now, to be clear, this is the meme coin market, so at the end of the day, anything can happen. If Hoppy does break these levels, it's not necessarily the end of the world. If you do look at a project like Pepe, you can see that Pepe has also gotten nuked. And you can see that Pepe is retesting these previous August lows. And naturally, you can assume that a derivative of Pepe is going to also bleed. When you look at Hoppy on CoinMarketCap, they do still have very good volume, 5.75 million. The volume to market cap ratio is almost 40%. Most other projects do not have anywhere close to this good of volume at this market cap range. Now, I really would like to just take some time to talk to the Hoppy community. So just to start things off, obviously Hoppy does not look great from a price standpoint. What are a few things that can change that? So first off, it's no secret that there are a lot of Hoppy YouTubers who are starting to abandon Hoppy. As a community, it is my belief that you cannot allow that to happen. If I'm you guys, I am continuing to raid them. I'm trying to keep them on board. Because the second that all of the influencers give up, it's going to make it very hard for Hoppy to recover. Because at the end of the day, meme coins are heavily driven based on hype. And you build hype around a project with community. And naturally, a big part of a community is going to be influencers. That's where the word is going to get spread. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but you as the Hoppy community, you have to try and keep the influencers on board. The next thing I want to talk about is exchanges. So when you look at Hoppy's exchanges, they have a ton of different exchanges, but the top ones are MEXC and Gate.io. But if you just scroll through this list, you can see that there are tons of different exchanges. Now, there are a few reasons that I want to talk about exchanges, though. You can see that currently Gate.io and LBank have great volume. Gate.io is 32% of Hoppy's volume, LBank is 23%. So from a volume standpoint, this is phenomenal. But I know that there are a lot of people out there who want to see Hoppy get listed on a tier 2 or a tier 1. And there are some people out there that would argue Gate.io and MEXC are tier 2s, and I want to explain why I personally don't think so. To be clear, I'm not saying that they are bad listings. I just personally don't put them in the tier 2 range. But what you have to understand about an exchange listing is that an exchange listing itself is not what is going to pump the price. Yes, it can bring volume and it can pump the price, but that's usually not what is going to actually pump it. What pumps the price is the idea of getting listed on an exchange. It's not the exchange itself. And if you come over to CoinMarketCap and you look at like MEXC and you look at Gate.io, you can see that they're ranked at 9 and 11. And if someone were to look at MEXC, for example, and they see 3 billion trading volume, and you compare that to something like Kraken, 979 million, a lot of people out there would just assume, yeah, MEXC is a great listing. It's probably even better than Kraken. Here is the reason I don't think so. So if you look at MEXC and you come over here, you can see that MEXC has 2,874 coins listed. Kraken currently has 480. If you look at Gate.io, it has 2,591. If you were just looking at all of these exchanges, there is not even another exchange until you get to Bitmart, which has over 1,000 coins. So when I'm saying that MEXC and Gate.io are not tier 2s, it's not because they aren't good exchanges, but it's because they have tons of coins being listed. So that's why you have to think about the idea of getting listed on exchanges, what is actually bullish. Most quality meme coins out there are listed on MEXC and Gate.io, which means that these are not rare exchanges. And that's where you have to understand rarity is what is going to build hype. Now, I know everyone in the hobby community would love to see OKX. OKX is the exchange that's been rumored for a very long time. But at this point, the reality is that Hoppy is at a $14 million market cap. I'm not sure if OKX would list Hoppy yet. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not sure as though it would happen. In my opinion, I think Hoppy would benefit significantly if they could somehow get listed on BitGet, Kraken, KuCoin, or even something like Crypto.com. I believe any of those exchanges could help turn everything around for Hoppy because they are harder exchanges to get listed on and it would help separate Hoppy from the rest of the competition. And the other reality with Hoppy right now is, again, Hoppy has been getting nuked. It's at a $14.3 million market cap. Hoppy has not seen an uptrend since December, and this uptrend was very short-lived, but you can see higher low, higher high. But then it got sold off hard, and this is when Hoppy's competition got released. I'm telling you right now, the reality of the situation is that the number one thing that matters for meme coins is price action. Everyone talks about community, everyone talks about exchanges, everyone talks about this, that, the other. But what everyone looks at is price action. If Hoppy can simply put in an uptrend, it will turn everything around. And a lot of the old hype that Hoppy used to have will come back. And I know the entire market is bleeding right now, especially the Matt Furie narrative, which is why it's hard to blame Hoppy specifically. But if you look at what made Hoppy so special for a long time, it's because it was pumping when the market was dumping. For example, you can see that Hoppy had this massive parabolic run September and October. If you look at Pepe, you can see that Pepe did not break out until November. Hoppy completely front ran Pepe. So when you have a project that is running while the rest of the market is dumping, it brings a lot of eyes to that project. So in my opinion, it could be very beneficial for Hoppy to try and get a lot of attention right now. But yeah, honestly, there's not much else for me to say about Hoppy. As you guys know, I've been talking about this project for a very long time. I was actually the first YouTuber to ever talk about this project. So if you guys had bought at that time, you would still be in significant profit even after this downtrend. But if you guys are interested in getting in a project super early, then I recommend taking a look at my Discord. At the current moment, I have 3 different tiers, but we're here for all of the pumps, we're here for the dumps, we're here for literally everything. As a lot of you guys know, my Discord's around 1 year old and we've already called 6 different 200x projects as a community. As I said for Hoppy, I first posted a buy alert at a $580,000 market cap. At its peak, you could have been up 253x. So if this is the kind of stuff that sounds interesting to you guys, I have the link right here on my YouTube homepage. But as always, I want to be crystal clear. Every single one of these projects that I cover come with extremely high risk. Make sure you always do your own research. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments whether or not you guys still believe in Hoppy long term. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.